you wish to donate books to Park Library, you can contact them through the link given below. Thank you.
Hi, Jai Bhim. Welcome to the Aesthetic Blue podcast. I'm your host Pranjali, and today we have Niyut with us. Niyut is an engineer by profession and leads BARC, Hyderabad by passion. BARC is an anti-caste collective. He chooses poetry as a tool to portray the oppression and discrimination towards humans so it can bring tangible action. So, without further ado, let's get talking. Hi, Niyut. How are you? How are you doing?
Hello, JB. I'm doing good.
Jai.
How are you?
I'm doing great as well. Can't complain. I'm very excited to talk to you.
Yeah, me too.
So I gave the brief introduction, but of course, there's a lot behind, the career you choose or the passion you are driven by. So tell us about that. Tell us about BARC and yourself a bit more.
Um, as she introduced, I'm Niyut, engineering by profession. I started my school journey. I started my schooling and in different schools. It has never been in one school. But I would like to tell my important years from the standard of seventh class. Seventh class, I studied in CRPF public school. Then after, I shifted to SSC board near my home. That is William Grammar High School, and I did my intermediate in Narayana Junior College. Then I chose a BTech, not by my choice, but with my father's choice, because he considered that BTech degree would give an easy job compared to other streams. I was a bit hesitant. I wanted to go to research field, but as my family couldn't afford that, they needed financial support. Even then, I chose BTech. I've completed my BTech in 2022 in ECE, Electronics and Communication Engineering. Then I got a campus placement in 2021 in my third year. Then right after my fourth year, I got into the uh, software job at Accenture. And my role is package app development. I work on a tool called Pega, and
Mm-hmm.
we do the app development with that tool. And coming to about BARC, I've started from the seventh class because there is a strong reason behind it. Because my consciousness towards caste system, to the discrimination, I've started realizing since
I'm so sorry.
seventh.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, it's okay. It looks aesthetic when cat comes.
Full approves.
uh,
Yeah, so you were telling
um,
about you you were connected
hmm,
in seventh only. Yeah.
yeah, but before that, I got to know about the class consciousness because my mother is a domestic worker, and sometimes when I was a kid, she used to take with me to the work where she used to go. Then I got to know the class difference, that class discrimination. But later I realized that it's also class and caste, not just class alone. Mm, uh, and in the seventh class, when I was reading a paragraph in English in the English class, my teacher looked at the way I'm reading the English, and she right after looked at my which caste I belong to. Then her remarks were, "These are the people, they don't improve, and they don't get the English. They're not as educated as other caste or class people." Uh, she said it very implicitly, but later on I understood that that remarks were because of my caste. Um, then I got into BTech college. In between, there were many, but I haven't caught that. I was caught with my identity. I also identify myself as a Dalit queer. I was grappling with about my identity, sexuality, and all of those. I was uh, so confused and with my sexuality under this patriarchal society, and at the same time, the patriarchy exists in the all the caste in the class, and I was felt even more lonely because I didn't get any kind of people who understand these both. Either they understand people who understand about my caste, they're not able to understand my sexuality. People who understand my sexuality, they can't connect with my um, caste, that I come from a uh, like Dalit, uh, and I'm a Dalit and come from a Dalit background.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then I stepped into. I was the figuring out all of this till my inter second year, and then I stepped into BTech college. My BTech college is BV Raj Institute of Technology. It's in Medit district in Telangana. There are also many subtle forms of caste discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
People, when it comes to the engineering colleges, especially, the caste discrimination happens regarding the reservation.
Mm-hmm.
They do discriminate with the tool of reservation. They used to do this myth called Ambedkar had reserved had do reservation just till 10 years, which is a myth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, and also they used to ask different kinds of question how this becomes an equality, and if there are reservation only to one sect of people, or only towards few communities, but why not others? It was that. And also people used to question me, you don't look like a Dalit, you don't look like that, because I've started reading lots of books since my 10th class, because the remarks that my teacher made me when I was in 7th. Then I started reading lots of good books, but not anti-caste books, but with other books. um, then I started writing poetry. Then I started writing short stories related to my sexuality. I didn't get enough exposure to the anti-caste movement because lack of activities that happen. I do know the discrimination happens of uh, related to caste, but not the internal politics, the different ways, subtle ways of caste discrimination, and the food politics that do happen in society. But I'm aware of that. These are the certain caste groups that are dominant in Telangana, especially Reddys, Kammas, Kapus. These are the as equal as dominating as Brahmins. Uh, and uh, yeah, coming to that, there were different kinds of discrimination happened. Yeah, like you don't look like a Dalit, and you do not behave like a Dalit does, and
Yeah.
you're not coming the place from the Dalit is coming. And they have these kind of stereotypes that a Dalit looks like a very dark skin, who doesn't speak English, who cannot speak English, not doesn't, who cannot speak good English, who can't come to the, who doesn't have the capability to come to the engineering colleges and study well, or think about the other issues. Uh, I've been since then. These were crystallized in my mind because all of these stereotypes and the subtle forms of discrimination that I've been subjecting to. Um, then I always wished in my dreams before going to the sleep that I need at least a person who aware of caste politics, who have knowledge about anti-caste movements, about Ambedkar and all of that. My dad used to tell the stories of Ambedkar and how he played an important role in the Indian politics. But still, there's always been more about Ambedkar, not just champion of Dalit rights and Dalit movement. It's always he's a universal. Baba Sahib is universal. There's much more to tell. As
Yes.
my dad studied till 10th, he thereafter he couldn't like continue his education. Even he has the limited knowledge about Ambedkar. Then I searched for groups, anti-caste reading circle groups. I've searched for the people, but I didn't get anyone. Then I found a few people on Instagram, but I felt very unreachable. Uh, I mean, I would message them in their DMs, Insta DMs, but I couldn't reach. I've tried enough. I couldn't get anywhere. Even when I looked into the uh, internet, the algorithms in such a way that they mostly hide what are the important anti-caste activists. They will tell you they do get the pop-ups of Annihilation of Caste by Arundhati Roy. Like she compared the between Gandhi and Ambedkar, but they do not give you the original piece written by Ambedkar. I
Because
mean, this was there, this has been there, and this was there when I searched about it. Uh, Even the Instagram or Chrome gives very limited knowledge when we search about this anti-caste groups, because at the end, the technology is in the hands of upper caste
yes.
savarnas, so they
Mm.
have the ability to manipulate this algorithms and affect the algorithms.
Yeah.
and and slowly I started, then I've decided that I couldn't get anywhere. uh and and I thought of um I thought of starting with my own, even if I do not have much knowledge about it. Okay, let's do something, read books, and I can start anything. Then I started reading uh Ambedkar books first. First and foremost, that we can't neglect to any Dalit literature is Annihilation of Caste. Like Annihilation of Caste is main manifesto to get into the anti-caste politics or movement. Then I started with Annihilation of Caste. I read thrice till it till it get filled in with that energy. I love that energy. I love that passion. I read. It has become my main ritual. Uh, then whenever I used to feel low, whenever I used to very hopeless about what I do, I just go and read Annihilation of Caste and a few words of Ambedkar, his speeches. Then I started reading Periyar. Slowly, I was getting to know about the anti-caste, historical anti-caste uh, figures, champions who were mainly involved with movements in colonial period. Um, then one day I've decided, okay, I need to start because there are also people like me who doesn't know about uh, anti-caste literature because it never been mainstreamed like other movements. Like there is a Black Lives Matter, and there is a lot of African literature that we can see. And there are also other movements in India which are globalized. They're global movement. They're known to be a global movement. But when it comes to anti-caste movement, it has never been. It's been there, but it's very limited compared to the other movements. Then I thought of we need to start. Anyhow, I have to start. Like I have waited more than 4 years. Now it's time to start. Even if I do not have much knowledge about it, I'll meet people and I'll know about it. Then and before that, I thought that I should have financial support for myself. If something happens, then I should support it. Then I thought of getting a job, only getting a job, I'll start. Then I prepared for the job just to start BARC or any reading circle. Then I prepared for the interview. I got a job. Then I took 3 4 months of time. Then I started Baba Sahib Ambedkar Reading Circle. First, I started Ambedkar Reading Circle, but calling Ambedkar, I do not feel personal. I calling Baba Sahib feels very personal and close to me. If someone tells me Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, I do not feel like that. There is no emotion that
I
I can
feel good.
associate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
So
I
I
was
do
in,
all.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Please
either I
continue.
call either I call Baba or Baba Sahib. Then I decided to attach Baba Sahib before the Ambedkar. So it's a Baba Sahib Ambedkar group. Um, yeah, when I started, there were none. I just posted in the Instagram that I want to start the circle, and people replied, and I started the circle in Instagram in the month of uh, and the proper event started happening in the month of June last year. Uh, and I've posted about it on Instagram in May. And before that, on April 14th, 2022, I attended IFLU, anti-caste celebrations, Ambedkar Jayanti celebrations. Yeah, that's how it has been my journey.
Yeah, I can relate to many things that you said, like you don't look like a Dalit, or we never thought that you are a Dalit, or you come from a SC/ST background. Because they were like, you don't look like, and you talk very nicely. My mother tongue is Marathi, so there are different dialects. They are like,
Yes.
it's like very pure, and we never thought like you can talk like that. And our first impression was, you must be so-called upper caste and all. So I can relate to that. That happens a lot.
Hmm.
And that incident that you shared when you were in seventh grade, that was, I mean, horrific. You were a kid, and a teacher's job is to teach you and treat all the students, with the equality, with the empathy. But giving those remarks must have been hard on you, but you took it in a good direction, I would say. That you
Hmm.
read, you collected knowledge, and now look at you. No one can say that you can't communicate properly in English. I mean, you're
Hmm.
proficient.
Thanks.
Even in my friend circle and all, reservation, that topic too popped up. So it's not in a particular section of India. I think it's all over India, this topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, the discrimination or some topics are just spread all over the India.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
And
Tell us. Yeah, yeah, continue.
that is also one of the reason I thought of not just reading anti-caste literature. One of there are many reasons, but one of the main reason is I wanted to, since I faced many like these kind of discriminations, I had no one to tell about, to share. So this anti-caste reading circle is just not a reading circle, it's beyond reading circle. We can be a good community where people can come and share and give solidarity. We can guide, for example, if any student joins in my circle, he can approach me and talk about it. This is how it happened, so that people like us can give support to that student,
Mm-hmm.
to a Dalit student if he faces any discrimination. It's like supporting each other and also giving solidarity. and also whoever the savannas there in the circle, they can get real experiences, so they can give the good ally, can be a good
Hmm.
ally to the movement. Instead of, we are mostly savannas read like journals online and movies. These are the only the source of information mostly, that how the subtle forms of discrimination happens, but they
Hmm.
do not recognize that it's the discrimination until unless someone uh, marginalized, from people from the marginalized community tells that. So it's one and one. People can give good ally to these people, and the people who are coming from the marginalized communities, that is Adivasis and Bahujans, they can support each other in these times. So it's always a kind of good bonding and community that I always would like to try.
Yeah, yeah, right. And even on those articles or journals and in films, it's polished reality. It's not like raw, and they're like willing to tell the stories. It's not like that. Even there are some films that are made on caste discrimination and class discrimination, but it's like someone from the upper caste will come to save those people. And that's
Yes,
not the reality. Why don't you
yes,
get learn our story from ourselves? They are looking
yeah,
with their lens only. So, yeah, I really get your point. Like, uh, if someone from the upper caste community is aware about caste discrimination and he wants to um, learn from the people themselves, they can get the better knowledge, right?
yes, yes. Yeah, it's not, we don't want any savannas come and saving us. We have everything.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
understand our struggles, and you can do support in whatever, in whichever you'd like to.
Yes, like Baba Sahib made us strong enough and
Yes,
educated
yes.
enough to fight for ourselves. So of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
it is
We
the
have
right.
many anti-caste heroes and champions like Savitri Phule, Phulan Devi. When it comes to women, yeah, Periyar, Ambedkar. We have so many. It's not that we can't.
Yes. It's just a lack of, I would say, unity or the awareness among our people only. Like we are not
Yes, yes, I
united.
agree.
We are, yes, we are
Yeah,
educated, agitated, but not united.
yes, yes.
Tell us what various activities do you conduct during these sessions at BARC?
Uh, a bark is an anti-caste collective, as you have said. We do events that whatever needs to be narrated needs to be done, uh, where sessions, talks, or events. I mean, it also gives importance to the intersectionality. Like I did one event in the month of November. It's a Bahujan queer meetup. It's intersectionality of DBA, Dalit, Bahujans, and Adivasis who identify themselves as queer, and coming towards even gathering and sharing our stories and how they uh, resisted the discrimination. What are the different forms of resistance, struggles, and how they fought mm, the discrimination that happened to them. So it's gathering uh, all of us together and sharing our and narrating our stories and how to tackle with that. So it also gives importance to the intersectionality Ambedkar reading circle, Baba Sahib Ambedkar reading circle. Yeah, because there are also many oppressed uh, people under the DBA community, Dalit Bahujan Adivasi community. So also do not neglecting that, carry forward with all of that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, we should also include what's the current situation or what currently is not getting recognized between us. Um,
Hmm. Yes.
yeah, like you said that you were fighting with two things, like being a Dalit and Dalit queer, right?
Yeah.
So in my case, I will say I didn't face that harsh of a discrimination, but yeah, subtle discrimination for sure. And I was struggling with my mental health. So
Hmm.
I was like, I was getting the proper treatment and everything. But like you said, you wanted someone to talk to,
Hmm.
right? Who will understand what you're going through.
Yes.
Yeah, so in my case, it was discrimination and mental health. Like I was getting the treatment, my family is very kind, but I needed someone who will understand what I'm going through. And if your circle is doing that for, your purpose, that it's great, because there are a lot of people like that who need support, or they just want to talk. They just want us to just hear us. We want to feel somewhat light, just hear us out. So I'm very glad that you are including other topics as well.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the mental health of marginalized community. Like when I keep telling marginalized community, I'm referring to the Dalit version and Adivasis, Dalits. Uh, like for us, it's also very unhidden topic. Lot of people do not take it seriously, that mental health and caste, or mental health of caste oppressed people. A lot of do not consider that, but it also very essential that mental health also to take and consider, because a lot of people from this caste oppressed communities, they identify themselves like ADHD or dyslexic. One of my close friends from the Bach circle, he identifies himself as a dyslexic and he is a Dalit, and
Hmm.
he feels very lonely. Dyslexic is also very hidden layer in wherever field, like neurodiversity is an umbrella term for all the other types of like dyslexic and ADHD. Yeah, and considering this, and we are doing in this month we are doing an event as neurodiversity and caste, talks about mental health and other forms of who won't like to narrate their stories. Yeah, like intersectionality is important as well as mental health.
Yeah. I mean, even I used to hesitate to talk about it openly, but
Mm-hmm.
as I grew older, I realized
Mm-hmm.
that it is very important to address that, because um, it affects us on many levels, like at school, at work,
Yes.
with
Yes.
few friends, in relationships. It's
Yeah.
always there, and we should address it. And I mean, it's a high time.
Yeah, yeah, yes, because lack of political consciousness, lack of people are political. They do not, whenever we speak about discrimination, or whenever we speak the caste discrimination, they do not get it, and it also very tough to deal with in our friendship circles. They do not know, they do not have awareness about it, so it takes our an extra energy to tell what's happening with us. And there we feel lonely. Even I felt that loneliness being a Dalit queer. And I also written in a poem, Loneliness of Being Dalit. It speaks about how I felt lonely in my friend circle groups. And also, the reason why I started this event, uh, Bojan's Queer Meetup, uh, when I used to attend the queer events in Hyderabad, people talk about all forms of discrimination, but they never choose the topic of caste. How caste plays an important role in India, as Baba Sahib Ambedkar said, wherever we go, caste crosses our path. We can't neglect caste. When it comes to caste, they just neglect this. How Dalit queers, for them, caste, talking about caste is as essential as other queer concepts and queer discrimination based on their sexuality. Yeah, it's very lacking all over the India, especially in Hyderabad. Yeah, and I also want to concentrate on that so that queers can also take up the caste as important tool.
So, in schools, in academics, we get to learn very specific things about Baba Saheb. Like he was from a Dalit community and he did write the constitution. Then he did work for uh, Dalit people. But it's not the case. He said that we're Indians firstly and lastly. And in Pune Karar, he put his country first. So we are not that much, matlab, other peoples are seeing him as a Dalit survivor only. So do you feel that people should read about Baba Saheb more and what should they get to know, that kind of thing?
Okay. Um,
What kind of,
yeah,
in
of
short, what, yeah, yeah, in short, what kind of awareness there should be? And um, yeah, please continue.
okay. Yeah, even um after the death of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, there weren't many people who pursued what he had written, except the Annihilation of Caste or except two to three works. Yeah, because of Congress government at those times, they suppressed most of his legacy, and thereafter, and all these savannas had tried, and they were succeeded to just to limit him to the just a constitution and the crusader of Dalit rights, but not more than that. And even in the lack of information about him, made a lot of savannas a kind of hatred towards Ambedkar. We see two kinds of savannas. Either they are very have good knowledge about him, or very limited, just known for reservation. That's it, not beyond that.
Yeah.
Uh, so and and also other kinds of people who appropriate him, like RSS, uh, BJP government, and other political groups. They appropriate him a lot. I've
Hmm.
seen a booklet uh, of RSS that had written about like Ambedkar. They appropriated so much to the level that he supports Hinduism, he supports Brahmanism. In a they had written in a way, and
Hmm.
also the comments on the Constitution. This is not the There is a quote right on the Constitution. Whatever the Constitution had written, it just enforced. There is something quote like that. I'm not able to tell it.
If
Yeah, so
is it like that, if the constitution is in wrong hands, it can be used wrongly, something like that.
no, no,
So
no.
that's the
It's in
difference.
the Yeah, that is the different.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so they used these kind of quotes and appropriate a lot, but they never talked about annihilation of caste and how
Hmm.
it criticized Hindu religion. So yeah, it's like obviously it can be seen that the since those times, his legacy, many of them haven't pursued it. And slowly now it's rising a little, but this is not what we want. It's more than what we need. We have to pursue his works, and we should read a lot about him. Yeah, I think to start with, basic is uh, starting with first, caste needs to be discussed, anti-caste movement and the caste effects of the caste system in India. So until unless people don't talk about in the organization NGOs, I think Baba Sahib Ambedkar, his legacy wouldn't come up. So we people who are working towards this movement, they need to talk caste wherever, even if it threatens their speech. For example, like I have to speak in queer groups about
Hmm.
caste and Ambedkar. Yeah, so starting with reading circles, just like a bar, so that it creates more awareness into the people. And we also, a lot of people do not read Ambedkar works, even us. My cousin, he has a, an kind of youth formed JBM association, but none of them haven't read anything about Ambedkar, but still they do a lot of events that is related to Hinduism, which supports Brahmanism, like certain kind of festivals they do celebrate. It's because of lack of engaging with Ambedkar works. Yeah, like we have to pursue his works, like starting reading circles, starting bringing the caste consciousness into the people, which
Other
highly
than,
needed.
yeah, other than reading circles, like what do you think? What we can do to spread the awareness?
Uh, I think art is another great tool to propagate any ideas or what we have. It's about more making artistic works, about like writing poetry or doing art, and in cinemas and movies, in whatever art field we have, choosing themes that relates to him, and bringing the policies in education system to make them awareness about how there is environmental additional information or syllabus are being inculcated into the education system, even in the
Hmm.
same way bringing the policies regarding the ill effects of casteism.
Hmm.
I've recently saw the seventh class book, social textbook of SSC syllabus in Telangana, just to check did they mention about caste system, about Ambedkar and all of that.
Hmm.
When I There is a separate chapter on uh, the chapter on the Dalit movement and caste oppressed groups. I think they did enough work. They have added enough information what a seventh class person can know.
Hmm.
So they asked several questions like in between the paragraphs. What are your experiences of untouchability? They've added these kind of question. But again, it depends upon the teacher. If the teacher is good, if teacher is not a savarna, or even if the savarna, if she is a good teacher, it's very hard to propagate those education systems and values to the student.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
and
right.
and also making smaller communities within among ourselves to spread whatever they can.
Hmm. So we
Yeah.
can see the change, like if they're adding, separate chapters. It's a
Mm,
small step we can say, but it
mm,
is gonna take a long time. But at least we can be hopeful that whatever we can, and with
mm,
that ripple effect, we can reach more people, and um, we can spread more awareness about the same.
yeah.
Um, Tell us about your future plans. What are you planning?
For Bach,
For
uh,
Bach, for yourself, any other projects?
I have so many plans with Bach. I just don't want to limit to the reading circle. I want to go beyond just reading circle. But I'm full time. I have full time work. I have full time job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it always limits my engaging with Bach readings. Bach Hyderabad. Yeah, it needs more volunteers. If we have more volunteers, people who are interested to help the park,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go very long run, and I can do best as much as I can with park. Mm, and also I want to, even my professional life, I want to work with related to casteism. Like I've been planning my personal research about caste and technology, like how algorithms are casteist, how algorithms are helpful to savarnas, how technology that only useful, that makes useful to the uh, rich class, rich savanna elites, but not to us. Very limited resources we have. Um, uh, yeah, how technologies can be casteist. A lot of people do not observe how technology also caste is, just like it's also racist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking up that personal project for myself to research more on it. I hope I want to, if I want to do any research thesis or any thesis, I would go for that caste and technology, like my engaging with my what my professional life and with this.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I can, agree with you on this because recently I saw this. I read somewhere that Instagram is banning and shadow banning some accounts that are using certain hashtags like hashtag Dalit Life Matters. If that's there,
Mm.
they're banning the whole account. I'm just giving an example. It's not the
Yes, yes.
exact hashtag, but hashtag that are regularly used. We use
Mm.
like what we can say, reel it, fill it, or weekend or adulting. This kind of things are happening. So I got what you are saying. They are doing it on, I don't know, maybe purpose or uh,
Mm.
with some.
Yes, like even if with verified accounts, if a anti-caste activist or influencer who doesn't easily get verified account because he working towards that, but other people do easily get it. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
takes a long time for them to get verified anti-caste activists in Instagram. And also in India, as casteism plays a very huge role, there is no separate reporting to the this is a casteist uh, comment, just like hate speech and nudity or sexual
Mm-hmm.
uh, nudity that happens. There
Mm-hmm.
has to be uh, reporting that this is a very casteist remark, where it is very casteist to the technology that we are using or to the algorithms that we are using. And because
Mm-hmm.
of that, there's a lot of hate speech. There are lots of hate speech towards Dalits and to our movements. And moreover, in India, the present government has more active towards IT cell.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be very strong like policies or activities that relates to the technology that can keeps us safer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I'll share one of my experience that I saw a reel
Mm,
that the guy was explaining how Lord Buddha is uh, 10th, 10th avatar of Vishnu.
mm,
And I couldn't help but I commented that's not it. He was just a human. He wanted to know the truth. He meditated, he did his inner work, and he got the knowledge and he spread it. That's it. So under my comment there were so many hateful, mean, vulgar comments that I had to delete my comment.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
so and they were DMing me also, like, what do you think? You are something else, yeah, and I don't want to mention, but yeah, there's hate, and to the level that we can't imagine. Like, there are people just sitting behind their screens, and it is my opinion, right? I can say, but
mm,
even not allowed it on social media, which is made for the same purpose to share what I feel, to engage with what I like or dislike. So yeah, that. that's there. There's a lot of hate related to, this caste, or even if we speak something against them, there will be like bashing us with lots of hate and
Hmm.
mean things.
Yes, yes, yeah. That's one of the reason. Like even I commented like that a few months ago, and I've also seen very lots of this hate speech towards it. That is the reason I picked up and I chose this. I have to research and I have to learn more about it, and I have to get into the field of in the field of caste and technology, where we can have to at least awareness so that we can control it somehow to get into that,
Mhm.
do our
This,
as best as we can.
yeah, yeah. This is a very fresh topic or perspective for me. Like, we get caste in law, we think
Mm,
about caste and um, maybe some other education, but caste and
mm.
technology, that's a really innovative combination and much needed, I must say.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm damn sure that like lot even we, when we understand caste, we always people have their own ways. People come from
Mm-hmm.
ancient history, they go to medieval history, they look upon the present world, and even if they look upon the caste in modern time, they often neglect how technology plays roles in this present generation and in the upcoming generation. Of course, technology gonna win. It takes, it is, we can't avoid it. Takes it will be and it is in our present lives, so it has also influence. Yeah, so it can't be neglected. And I've seen very 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 less uh writers or people who do not consider technology, how technology plays role in casteism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like with all the upcoming and ongoing AI and
Hmm.
new upgradation, it's gonna just get worse
Yes, yes.
unless we do something to stop. And I'm hopeful we will be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I can't. I mean, I can't afford hopelessness. At least I have to be hopeful.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hope is something that keeps us alive and it ignites
Yes.
the fire within us. So yeah, optimism and hope, we have to hold it. We can't afford
Yeah,
to
yeah.
let it
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I might be hopeless in other things, but I can't afford hopelessness when it comes to this.
go. This is a little off road or off topic, but they
Mm.
say there's a saying that I'm not hopeless in love. I'm hopeful in love.
Oh,
That's a really nice.
yeah.
I just thought about it, and we can be
Mhm.
hopeful in every aspect.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
With that, tell us where we can find you uh, on social media.
Of Bark or mine also?
You and Bach,
Uh,
so our listeners can follow Bach,
mhm.
and who are in the Hyderabad, they can, if they're interested, they can join the circle.
Yeah, first I'll go with Bark Hyderabad. Bark Hyderabad has Instagram account, WhatsApp group, and email ID. Instagram account is bark.hyderabad, and our email ID is barkhyderabad@gmail.com. But to WhatsApp group, only if a person attends offline to any one event, at least one event, he can get added to the group. Like first I thought of adding everyone, but
Mhm.
as I give my personal contact to the posters that I make for Bark events, I do get very different, like creepy messages.
Mhm.
um I want a group to be safe, because there are also
Yeah, yeah.
many kinds of people. So if a person comes to any offline event, I can know about him, so that
Right.
then I can add to the WhatsApp group, since we share our personal phone numbers to that group, in WhatsApp group. So yeah, for WhatsApp, a person has to attend an offline event, then I'll add him to the WhatsApp group. And my
Okay.
Instagram account is underscore blue unicorn.
That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, blue
And
unicorn is there is a reason blue unicorn is our
uh-huh.
movement has a blue color. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a blue, and unicorn is kind of queer. So
Yeah.
it's both blue
E-
unicorn.
Even aesthetic blue is like that. It's aesthetic.
Yes.
It's blue.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have, I don't know if I'm allowed to share it, but it's okay. We have a
Yeah, you can share.
Bodhi tree in our logo. So, Lord
Yes.
Buddha, like was born under the Bodhi tree. He
Mm,
um he got enlightened under the Bodhi tree, and he got
yes.
nirvana under the Bodhi tree. So that's
Yes,
the
yes.
context. Yeah, I love the
Nice.
blue unicorn.
What is the whole name
Who's
of podcast?
the Aesthetic Blue podcast?
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Anything you will like to share with our audience? Something that is close to your heart and you want people to hear it.
Uh, there is nothing new that I would like to emphasize, as wherever I go, I say these three words, what Baba Sahib Ambedkar said: educate, agitate, organize. Like it's very essential to us. Uh, it is important anywhere, even wherever field you are in, any of your formal education, or if you're working towards anti-caste movement, educate yourself, then obviously you agitate and you'll organize. And this is my life is like best example. I've educated myself, then I read anti-caste books, and then I got into that, and I agitated, then I organized Bach Circle. That three words has played a main role, and it inspired me so much. Yeah, that's it. And if you need any help, like if you would like to start reading circles in your cities, if you want to talk about anything, please reach out to me, especially students. If you need any help, please reach out to me. I'll do as best as I can.
And maybe to be kind to each other,
Yes, being kind,
kind,
listening, or if you
considerate.
want it, yeah, if you need any help, if I can't do that, I'll take from someone else and I'll help you my best. Even career wise, yeah, in any
Yeah.
way, if you feel you need any help, or help if you want to start a circle in your cities.
Hmm. That's the thing. When we go through it, we empathize with it. So if someone
Yes, yes.
comes to me, like Pranjali, I'm going through something, I'm not feeling well. So I can feel her or him, and I can, just hear it about, let it be mental health or caste discrimination or discrimination at work. So maybe we faced all those challenges because we were going to be prepared to help others. We can take it that way.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. Like SCSC students or kids, I'm here. I'll do as much as I can. Like
Yes.
that's how we form and we organize ourselves.
Yeah, and we help others to climb up with
Mm,
us.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And please do read anti-caste books, because even now, that is also getting Brahmanized.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
Brahmanizing, getting Brahmanized to a level that, even if you are, if you are educated, you will not be able to understand. Like, if you are educated, you will 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 understand. Like, if you are that even if I speak of casteism, even if I criticize Hinduism or the casteist practices that Hinduism does, they do not agree. They take the side of uh, Brahmins, they take the side of Hindus. So it's
Yeah.
happening till such a level that it's unimaginable, and it really harms us to very great level. So please do
Mm-hmm.
read books, check your sources and your write what, even it also matters what kind of book you pick up, what kind of content you are reading, you are seeing, you're watching.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like what you said, I have examples of that in my life. Like people who are Buddhists, but
Mm.
they don't practice Buddhism. They have different Hindu religions, gods, idols at their home, and they,
Mm.
celebrate the other festivals, but they're ashamed to say Jai Bhim or to say, yes, I'm
Mm.
Buddhist. They want to blend in and, be in that superior, so-called superior kind of group. I've seen it, I've witnessed it.
Mm. And there's also other kind of people, especially I see with Savarnas. They say that they are good ally to caste oppressed people, but at the same time, they are not able to speak about the caste discrimination that happens in their home,
Hmm.
in their family. They do not oppose it, they do not do anything, but to appropriate and to get the good side of it, that to feel as that, oh, they are on side, they do these kind of things like saying Jai Beam, attending to the events, but uh, but they do not oppose anything. What are the
Mm-hmm.
caste practices or that happens in their home or in their friend circles? So we have
Mm-hmm.
to be aware to those kind of people.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those people who say that casteism is no more, or now discrimination doesn't happen, those are the ones who are doing it because they don't see it happening. We
Mm.
like we are the one who are witnessing it or experiencing it, but I mean they are the one doing it, so how will they notice anything? Even if something is happening, they just turn a blind eye towards it.
Yeah, yeah, I see casteism, and caste is very is a creature where it changes itself, and it is so dynamic that it changes from time to time. And you
Mm-hmm.
can't see the casteism that happened 60 years ago and see it doesn't happen in that way. Now things have
Mm-hmm.
changed. Capitalism has come. It has its own modes and ways of being casteist. So recognize what casteism is now and observe it, read and get into the conversations and discussion. That's how you can uh, catch the uh, casteism. Like people who says that they're good ally to the casteism, but when it comes to reservation, they oppose it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
They're
So
like,
yeah, so
we had 90%, but we didn't get, and that
yes.
42% wala guy, he got it. This is so unfair. And I
Mm.
try to make them understand why it is like that, but they're like, no, 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 no. At one point, I'm like, there's no point, talking to a person who don't want to understand only.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not having an open end or open conversation. They have made up their mind that no, this shouldn't happen. And I mean, what else can we do? Like, we will try to spread awareness, but they are so rigid with their beliefs that they're not uh, able to understand.
Hmm. Yes, yes. Recently, what I'm doing is that if someone is asking, opposing reservation, or asking me any questions related to anti-caste movement or bark, I would tell them only if you have read any articles or books, any one book, if you have read anti-caste literature, then I'm ready to answer, to discuss. But without you reading anything and come blindly towards and asking me the question, I'm not doing your homework. Do your homework. Read yourself and come and discuss. Without doing your homework, and don't make me do your homework.
Yeah. That's a nice approach. Yeah, we can say
Yeah,
firstly read about it and then come, then we will talk.
yeah, yeah. So that's how I'm pushing all the way this political people and who are not reading, no, not pursuing anti-caste literature. And also, I've seen this that uh, my mother used to go to this home as a domestic worker, and to that home, the one lady, she's a social teacher. She's having conversations with her mother that how blacks in Western countries and how should SC and ST people are kept away from the society and outcasted. She understood all of that, but at the same time, she's castish and classist. So
Hmm.
she the see the irony of it.
Yeah.
So there are I mean, two phases of people do exist. So we have to be aware.
Right, right. It
Yeah.
was lovely talking to you, Niyut. I mean, I can go all day, but
Yeah, me too.
yeah, we will. Sure, someday we will meet. We'll come to your circle. We would love to. Thank you for being on the podcast. I really enjoyed talking to you. Jai Bhim.
Thanks, Vipul, and thanks to you. You have such a comfort face and charming face that I can keep on talking with you the whole day. Yeah,
Thank you
thanks for
so
having
much.
conversation. Thanks. Jai
Thank you.
Bhim.
We'll stay connected. Jai Bhim.
Yeah.